If after 12 weeks, this is our field, it should be the exact same after the 13th week. Shut it down. Boo Corrigan should come out on Tuesday and say, it's over. We're playing for seeding. The rankings. And I have an opinion.
All right.
I have an argument.
Uh-oh.
I have an intellectual argument. I know that is very dangerous to bring up intellectual when discussing college football.
Really dangerous to bring up intellectual in discussing you. So
I would win this argument every time if I stood in front of a judge. If I stood in front of the committee, I would win this argument. I believe the playoff field should be set. Done.
Right now.
Right now. I believe that the committee will come out on Tuesday night and rank Georgia 1, Michigan 2, TCU 3, USC 4. Now, we'll argue this later. Should Michigan be number 1? Actually, you have a pretty good case to be number 1 in Georgia 2, but that's not the point. Doesn't matter. Those are the 4 teams. After 12 weeks of this season, those are the 4 best teams. Those are the 4 teams that have proven themselves. 3 unbeatens and 1 team that lost by 1 on the road to Utah. They're number 4. I believe that will be the rankings. Now, if Ohio State is 4 and USC is 5, then we'll have a different argument. But I think that's going to be the top 4. Do you all agree that'll be the top 4?
Yep. Yeah. In that order. I still think Georgia stays number 1, Michigan 2, TCU 3. Yeah. USC 4.
Yep. Same here.
Michigan's best win. Ohio State is better than Georgia's best win. Tennessee. These are the 4 teams. After 12 weeks, you shut it down. There is a 13th week here. But that 13th week only applies to those 4 teams. They will be playing teams that do not have an argument to get in. The only 2 other contenders are Ohio State and Alabama. They're going to go 5-6 in some order. Those 2 teams do not play this week. You cannot intellectually say after 12 weeks that USC is better than Ohio State and then say, but we're going to make USC and only USC in this argument clear a 13th hurdle where Ohio State doesn't have to do anything. Ohio State, by not winning their division, gets a bye. Alabama gets a bye. You cannot punish the 13th result against a team that isn't playing a 13th game. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or do you agree with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with it, but it makes sense. It's a good argument.
This is after 12. There's 2 one-loss teams. Like, first, Georgia can lose. They're in. Michigan can lose. They're in. TCU loses. They should be in. I don't care if it's the Big 12. They've got a better strength of record, all that stuff. USC could lose and have 2 losses. You say, well, they got 2 losses. Ohio State only has 1. Ohio State didn't have to play as many games. Now, if Ohio State was playing a 13th game, then yes, what USC has to do counts. Or if USC was trying to jump a team that only had to play 12, let's say Ohio State is 4 and USC is 5, then yes, the 13th game counts. You should get the advantage of getting a 13th data point, but you should never be punished for the 13th data point. So if after 12 weeks, this is our field, it should be the exact same after the 13th week. Shut it down. Boo Corrigan should come out on Tuesday and say, it's over. We're playing for seeding.
I'm sure he'll do that.
Interesting premise. Yeah.
Don't watch.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Turn off the tube.
Which, by the way, for at least a decade, maybe longer, I have been arguing against the very existence of conference championship games.
Well, it's a waste of time.
It is a waste of time. It's usually a double jeopardy situation for your best team, and that is the case for all of them that are in the playoff right now. You know, they don't need to go prove anything in this game. So to your point, Dan, I actually agree with you there that, you know, USC shouldn't have to prove it's the best team in the Pac-12. Although that one now, they did lose head-to-head with Utah. And now they're playing Utah again. So
they got a chance
a little
to kind
more,
of redeem.
You can decide who wins the Pac-12 that way. You can decide Utah's the best team in the Pac-12. They win the championship. But Ohio State didn't win their championship either.
Right.
So it at the end of the day, this is a USC versus Ohio State argument. If USC should not have to clear an extra hurdle, you cannot just say, "Hey, good, lucky you, Buckeyes, you lost," and you don't have to do something.
I am not as appalled by your argument as I expected to be. So that's good.
No, it makes a lot of it makes a lot of sense. It does.